For me, this picture works because the background works along with the skater girl. And let's have a look why. You know, a background has got the ability to make or break a picture. The biggest, number one forgotten part of a photograph. When you're concentrating so much on the foreground of an image, it's really easy to forget the background. But that background has the ability to really make a difference. Now, this is a tunnel that I found a few weeks ago when I was doing a walk into Birmingham, and you can see that film right here. And look, there was some great graffiti right in the middle of the tunnel, and that got me thinking, remember where this graffiti is. If you concentrate everything on the subject and nothing on the background, you're only ever going to have half a picture, aren't you? So if you give as much effort to the background as the subject, then you're really going to start getting somewhere. You see, for me, this portrait is way more interesting than if we just shot the skater girl and blurred the background, or just got some people doing tricks behind. It's graffiti, it's colourful, it's urban, it's got grit. I mean, you think about it, an artist, they don't just think of the middle of the canvas, they paint the whole canvas. An author, they don't think about one chapter or the chapters where important things happen. They think about all the chapters, all the paragraphs, how they go together. Directors, they think about plays and films, you know, scene by scene, how they build, how they work, not just the ones where the action's happening. And that, I think, is where photographers really need to start thinking more about their backgrounds. And, you know, when you're walking around day to day and you see something and it's really interesting and you think, wow, that'd make a great background, that's where you've got to remember that. Write it down if you need to, jot it on your phone, make a mental note, whatever. But when you're doing a portrait or some other kind of picture, or even a product photography, and it needs a certain look, a certain kind of background, you'll find that you'll start creating something that just rises above the norm. Really good photography starts there. So let's just reinforce that. Here's another image from that city walk that I took, and again I'll leave a link at the end of this video. Check it out, a walk through Birmingham and some of the buildings and sites that I saw. But we take this image, it's a nice image, but let's use it for a portrait. Boom! Wow, another one of our skater pictures. But you know what, I mean, look at the difference it makes. Go back to the original, that's a nice picture, but it's, you know, not really doing much. But now, wow, you know, both of these pictures individually don't mean much, but together they're really working. Okay, now here's another. Now this is a picture I shot on a traffic roundabout at dawn, and the sky was all fiery, and I remember thinking about this lion and this public art. It was a huge, great sculpture, and thinking that would be a great background if ever I need it. And then suddenly this job came along. I needed a picture for this kind of gothic circus, and this was just the ideal look, you know, for the background. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting as much emphasis on the background as the foreground, and I think it works really well. Backgrounds, if only we thought about them a little bit more. Look, I'm leafing through my iPhone and I find this old picture here. I took this picture when I was out skiing, but do you know what? About 10 minutes before on my camera, I had taken this one. Now, if only I decided to do that selfie here, then the selfie would look something like this. Wow, what a difference. Here I am, look, on top of the world, instead of looking at a load of people putting their skis on racks. So just to be clear, I'm not suggesting that you Photoshop new backgrounds onto all your images in post-production. I've just done that today on a couple of images just to prove a point. And that is, the background can be as influential as the subject in portraits, in street photography, in just about everything. Even a product shot can be lifted with the right background. So I think the takeaway from this is give backgrounds a little bit of thought. Now, earlier on in this film, you saw me taking some pictures during a walk on the way into Birmingham, and we did the pictures of the graffiti and of the Cube building with skateboarders in front of them. And if you'd like to see where I originally got the idea for those pictures on the walk into Birmingham, then it's a great little walk, and click on this link here and have a look.